The NBA regular season is right around the corner, but the Knicks still have a few decisions to make before they head into the season. And one of those decisions surround Mikal Bridges and his contract extension. And according to ESPN's Bobby Marks, he recently gave us an update about the Knicks and where they stand with Mikal Bridges and that contract extension. And per that update, it's likely that Bridges will not sign that extension right now with the Knicks. We're going to break down all of these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Bridges is unlikely to sign an extension with New York. Now, things can change. We have a lot of time still, but as things stand right now, it does seem to indicate that Bridges will not go to Jalen Brunson route. He will not sign an extension right now with the Knicks and give them a discount. Does that mean he won't sign an extension at all with them? I don't think that's the case. He likely will sign an extension with the Knicks at some point in time, and maybe when he does, he will take a little bit less. But at least at this point in time, that contract extension with the Knicks and Mikal will not happen right now. Let's take a look at the following reports from ESPN's Bobby Marks on the following situation about Mikal and his contract situation. Shout out the Bleacher Report for giving us the following information. The New York Knicks forward Mikal Bridges will be eligible to sign a 2-year extension worth around $61 million starting on October 1st, though it doesn't sound as though he'll go that route. According to ESPN's Bobby Marks, he gives us the following information. The indication I've gotten just from talking to people is that there is not going to be an extension, that he will wait until next year because he's limited as far as the 6-month rule, as far as what he can extend for. Next year, he can extend for 4 years. So it just gives him more flexibility. That could certainly change by October 21st. Maybe this trade does change the thinking behind Mikal Bridges and the decision he wants to make with his contract extension. Because Bridges is limited for how long he can extend for with the Knicks this year, if he resigns with them, he is going to wait till next year most likely so he can sign a longer-term deal. Now, Bobby Marks did mention that 6-month rule. You might be asking yourself, what is that rule? What does that mean? Well, shout out to Bleacher Report for giving us more information on it. According to them, that 6-month rule applies to players who are traded. For 6 months after a trade, extension-eligible players can only sign deals that will take them to 4 years total under their current contract. So because Bridges is already under contract for another 2 seasons, he can only extend with New York for 2 more. When looking at this situation with Mikal Bridges, I don't think it's the money aspect. I really do think it's the contract length. I don't think he just wants to extend for another 2 years. He wants a long-term contract with the Knicks because he doesn't want to continue to move around team after team after team. He wants to stay with one franchise for the rest of his career. He wanted to do that with Phoenix to a degree. He wanted to do that with Brooklyn, but now he's given the opportunity and the chance to do it with New York, and he's definitely going to seize it. Not now, but next year when the Knicks can extend him for 4 years. He is going to take that deal, re-sign with the Knicks, and re-sign with them at a lower cost. So that way he gives them more flexibility so they can go out and make more moves. At that point, he will go the Brunson route. However, as Bobby Marks did note here, given the Karl-Anthony Towns deal, once it's official, Bridges might change his mind and he could still choose to take a discount and an extension with the Knicks right now. According to Bleacher Report, as Marks noted, Bridges still could choose to take a discount in the wake of the Knicks reportedly landing Karl-Anthony Towns in a 3-team deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Charlotte Hornets. Again, that trade sends Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, along with our protected first-round pick via Detroit, to Minnesota. Mark said that he spoke to people about the possibility of a Bridges extension before that trade was orchestrated. It's possible that Bridges' thinking has changed or will change after the Knicks revamp the roster yet again. So while it is unlikely that that contract extension happens this season with Mikal and the Knicks, it's not impossible after the Towns trade. And I think once everything is official and the dust settles on that trade, and we know exactly what players are leaving, what players are coming in, and what the final roster is going to be, I think at that point, Bridges is going to have a more understanding of his role, where he wants to be with this team, and if he wants to extend right now. But either way, whether he extends this year or next season, it doesn't matter. He's going to remain a Knick. He's likely going to take less regardless of when he extends, and that's going to ultimately help the Knicks and our flexibility to go out there and get other players to add to this team that we desperately need. We don't know exactly what we need right now because we haven't seen it on the court yet. But after a couple of games, after a few months, we're going to get an idea of the identity of this team, how far this team can go, and potentially the weaknesses of this roster and where Leon Rose and this Knicks front office have to make upgrades come the trade deadline. It's going to be a very interesting season. We're not going to hear a lot of information today at Media Day because they can't answer any questions. The trade is not official. They're going to ask, but when they ask, it's going to be, I can't talk about it right now, no comment, things of that nature. You can ask about Mikal Bridges. You can ask about Jalen Brunson, their individual seasons, how they like playing together again with each other, all of those questions, but how Cat and JB is going to look, how that pick and pop is going to look, how good they feel about the roster they have right now. You can't really ask those questions because they're not going to be able to give you that information, at least not yet. We have to wait for the trade to be official. There are rumors out there circulating that potentially the trade could be made official as soon as this Wednesday. Now, the reason for that is the Knicks still have to sign players and then trade them as part of this deal. They haven't done that yet. They likely need to give themselves time to do those moves. That's why this trade won't be made official till maybe at the earliest Wednesday. Now, things can change. The Knicks could still rework the deal. They could add extra players to the deal. They might add Mitchell Robinson to the deal in a ploy to try to get Nick Richards from the Charlotte Hornets on this team. Anything is possible under Leon Rose. I'll never put anything past him. We're just going to have to wait and see who the Knicks officially get on this roster once this deal is made official. But if you were thinking today at Media Day that they were going to answer questions about it, they're not. There's definitely going to be a lot of questions about it. They're definitely going to be asked about it. But if they're going to answer them, I can tell you that right now. No, absolutely not. They can't comment on anything that has not been made official. So you're not going to hear anything about it. But best believe, internally, at least according to a lot of reports, many people are happy about this trade, happy about Cat being part of this organization, especially Leon Rose. And the pairing between JB and Cat could be lethal. A lot of positives to look forward to headed into next season, but we have to wait a little bit until we can see the trade become official and everybody speak on it. But what about you guys? What do you think about these latest reports indicating that Mikal Bridges is unlikely to sign a contract extension with the Knicks this season? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.